recently published a study that suggested we can gain insights into an individual's personality based on the kind of sandwich he or she orders. How is that possible?
Well, this is about real food, real personality, and real romance. You know, here at the Smell and Taste Treatment and Research Foundation in Chicago, we study food preferences and what it tells about personality. And so Hellmann's Mayonnaise came to us and said, well, what do sandwich preferences tell about personality? So we looked at 8 different sandwiches, and we were able to find thousands of secrets about people's personality based on their sandwich preferences. And if people want to learn about it, they can log on to buildtheperfectsandwich.com. So for instance, what's your favorite sandwich?
I'm kind of an egg salad guy.
Oh, okay, well, people who like egg salad tend to be dramatic extroverts who enjoy being the center of attention. They're lively, dramatic, crave novelty, and they're most romantically compatible with those who they're actually universally romantically compatible. They're compatible with everybody.
Wow. I'm pretty easy then.
well, that's right. You know, one of the things is we find in the way we ended up doing this study is we looked at 2,747 people, and we gave them all sorts of different personality tests like the MMPI, the MCMI, the Beck, and the Zung. We were able to determine their personality type, and then we looked at their food preferences, and we correlated them together, sort of like a Rorschach test. You ever see those ink blots, and people say, you know, it looks like a butterfly or a bat, and depending on how you interpret it, you can gain insight into personality. Well, we did the same thing with sandwiches, and it makes a lot of sense because the part of the brain that we think food preferences, our olfactory lobe, is actually part of the limbic system, or the emotional brain. So anatomically it makes sense, and chronobiologically it makes sense as well, because our personality develops at age 0 to 7, which is the same time that our food preferences develop. So you can actually determine people's personality based on their food preference.
Wow. I love the part where you say ham and cheese types are best when they have no strong romantic entanglements. So they're the love 'em and leave 'em types of the sandwich world.
Well, that's right. You know, whereas the egg salad sandwich is the universal romantics, the ham and cheese are just the opposite.
All right, so that's that. So there were 8 sandwich choices, and I noticed conspicuous by its absence, at least to me, there was no peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Is that because PB&J lovers are absolute sociopaths and we should stay away from them?
No, it's just because when you put PB&J on the list, too many people choose it. And so you don't get anything statistically significant. You need, when you do these sorts of studies and you're looking for personality types, you need to choose things that is pretty well divided evenly between the different sandwiches. So if you have one that's just everyone chooses, you can't do it. Just like when we tried to study chocolate versus other candies, so many people just chose chocolate, we couldn't do the study. We had to eliminate chocolate.
I see. So the PB&J people would have messed up the curve.
Well, that's right. You just couldn't interpret what it meant. So,
I see.
I'm sure it does mean something, but you'd have to subdivide it even further to different types of peanut butter, different types of nuts, or different types of jelly and the like.
I see. So every choice we make during the day is part of our personality fingerprint?
Exactly. You know, the way we tie our tie, the direction we comb our hair, the way we walk, the way we talk, the type of car we drive, all reflects our true underlying personality. The question is, are we smart enough to figure out what it means? That's what we've done with these different sandwiches.
I see. So if you say potato and I say potato, you've learned something about me, besides the fact that I like George Gershwin.
Well, you know, that's right. And so part of what we try to do in the world of psychiatry and science is to understand the clues to one's underlying personality based on their manifest expressions, based on the way they show themselves.
Is there a practical aspect to this? I mean, if I'm taking someone out on a job interview, should I take them to a deli instead? I mean, is that the kind of uses you can put research like this to?
Well, we originally designed it for psychiatrists, but anyone could use it themselves, their lovers, their coworkers, their bosses, and decide what their personality is like. We've even had phone calls from employment agencies who wanted to use this as part of their screening process. We even had somebody, a trial attorney from California called us who wanted to use this as part of his voir dire and jury selection. So clearly, you know, we are expressing our true self all the time, whether we recognize it or not.
I see. Elvis Presley had a fondness for fried peanut butter and banana sandwiches. Does this tell us more about his personality or his diet?
Well, I'm sure it tells about his personality, but you know, the king is the king. What can I say?
What about people who cut the crusts off their sandwiches? I've never trusted them.
Well, you know, taking crust off, cutting the sandwich diagonally versus horizontally. All of this does tell a lot about somebody's personality, and it's something that's well worth exploring. And just like how the food tastes, how you decide to eat the food really can tell a lot about somebody, and it's something that ultimately we'll understand. We just, at this moment, we don't know what it means yet.
Certainly. One final question: why sandwiches? Why not ice cream flavors or cookies or vegetables?
Well, we've looked at about 18 different foods. We've looked at 27 different types of ice cream. We've looked at different vegetables, different fruits, different candy bars, different coffees, different lemonades. We've looked at all sorts of different ones, and we've actually found a very strong cross-correlation between the different food groups. So if you're one personality in one food group, you tend to be the same personality in the other food groups as well.
Would this suggest that depending on my mood, I might order different foods?
Well, it's possible. We're looking at your favorite one, which tends to be more stable, but your mood can change, and as your mood changes, your food preferences change as well, but they tend to be a more transient change.